My hands were trembling, and I was just like, oh my God, I just danced on stage with Madonna. She spanked me and gave me a banana.
And I remember having her over to my house a couple of times because Sean and I were friends, and she just was so rude to everybody.
I looked at her and I went, I'm sorry, I'm kind of freaking out. She's like, why? And I'm like, 'cause you're Madonna.
Madonna has so mumuch power that the guards let me take an extra shower because they thought she was coming to visit me.
I mean, she kissed me.
You kissed her.
I didn't kiss her. You actually have the picture?
No, I've got it on my phone here.
Madonna doesn't like me. I don't know why.
Why? Well, why wouldn't she like you?
Some people just don't like me.
When you've been at the top of the music industry for over 4 decades, you're bound to accumulate some extraordinary stories. Madonna Louise Ciccone, the undisputed queen of pop, has left an indelible mark not just on music, but on the lives and careers of countless artists who've crossed her path. The stories we're about to explore span decades and genres, involving some of the biggest names in entertainment. Each encounter offers a unique glimpse into Madonna's world, whether it's a brief 5-minute meeting that leaves a lasting impression or a spontaneous moment that becomes part of music history. When Madonna decides to pull someone into her orbit, the experience becomes transformative. For young artists who grew up idolizing the queen of pop, suddenly finding themselves sharing the stage with their hero can be overwhelming in the most beautiful way possible.
So you have to tell me about the moment that Madonna took you on stage and spanked you in your hometown, in Miami.
That is a dangerous woman. Madonna's a dangerous woman.
So what happens after? Do you go backstage and talk to her?
What makes these encounters particularly special is how they often happen in the artist's hometown, making the moment even more surreal and meaningful. When Madonna chooses to share her stage, she's not just inviting someone to perform, she's passing down a piece of her legacy. The physical nature of these interactions, whether it's a spanking, a kiss, or simply being pulled close, creates an intimacy that transcends the typical artist-to-artist relationship.
She spanked me and gave me a banana. Oh my God. It was just so surreal. I love Madonna. I think everyone knows she's such a huge influence on me, and I appreciate her in every way.
Do you guys keep in touch, or is it just like the Twitter love? Because I see sometimes you guys tweet at
Yeah, we have
each
a little
other.
bit of Twitter love, but I mean, she's Madonna. She's got a lot on her plate, man.
The aftermath of these encounters reveals something profound about how artists process meeting their idols. There's often a mixture of disbelief, gratitude, and the recognition that they've just experienced something that will stay with them forever. The acknowledgement that Madonna is incredibly busy yet still takes time for these moments speaks to her understanding of her role as both an artist and an influence. But not every story about meeting Madonna is filled with butterflies and trembling hands. Some encounters reveal a different side of the icon, one that's more complex and sometimes challenging to navigate.
Madonna doesn't like me. I don't know why.
Why? Well, why wouldn't she like
Some
you?
people just don't like me.
How do you know she doesn't?
I don't understand it. No, I do understand it. I'm a polarizing individual.
But Madonna's a polarizing individual.
The honesty in admitting that a relationship didn't click is refreshing in an industry often filled with diplomatic responses. When two strong personalities collide, especially when both are known for being uncompromising in their artistry, the result isn't always harmony. The recognition that some people simply don't mesh, regardless of mutual respect for each other's work, is a mature acknowledgement of human nature.
Well, it's just such a silly story because I love Madonna and
Right.
I love her no matter what. Like I still love her. I love her no matter what.
Right.
She was such an inspiration to me. But it sort of got twisted around that I was like fangirling and was dying to meet Madonna when in actuality she invited me into her dressing room.
This kind of misunderstanding illustrates how media narratives can distort reality. When the truth gets twisted, turning an invitation from Madonna into a story about desperate fangirling, it creates tension that might not have existed otherwise. The fact that love and admiration can persist despite personal conflicts speaks to the power of artistic influence transcending personal relationships.
And so I just said a joke when Regis brought me out. He's like, how does it feel to meet you? Like, I mean, I heard you're just falling over yourself backstage. How does it feel? I'm like, I thought she wanted to meet me. Didn't work out.
Oh, and that
Didn't work out for us.
So she took that personally.
Television interviews can be dangerous territory for celebrities, especially when hosts push for entertaining sound bites. A simple joke meant to deflect attention can be interpreted as disrespect, particularly when egos and reputations are at stake. The phrase, "it didn't work out for us," carries the weight of a relationship that could have been but wasn't, highlighting how fragile these celebrity connections can be. Sometimes, the most revealing Madonna stories come from artists who've observed her behavior in more intimate settings. When the cameras aren't rolling and the public isn't watching, different aspects of her personality emerge.
And I remember having her over to my house a couple of times because Sean and I were friends, and she just was so rude to everybody. It seems to me that she's got so much that she doesn't have to act the way that she acts, like a spoiled brat all the time.
These private observations provide insight into how success and fame can sometimes create challenging personality traits. When someone has reached the pinnacle of their industry, the temptation to demand special treatment can be overwhelming. The contrast between public persona and private behavior often reveals the cost of maintaining such an enormous career and image.
I think that she knows how to work the business like nobody I've ever seen before. And there's something about her that I don't like. She's mean.
The acknowledgement of Madonna's business acumen, while simultaneously criticizing her interpersonal skills, creates a complex portrait. It's possible to respect someone's professional achievements while finding their personal behavior problematic. This duality exists in many high-achieving individuals who've had to develop tough exteriors to survive in competitive industries.
It seems to me when you reach the kind of acclaim that she's reached and can do whatever you want to do, you should be a little bit more magnanimous and a little bit less of a...
Don't mince words.
No.
This brutal honesty cuts to the heart of what many people expect from successful individuals. That achievement should breed humility and kindness rather than entitlement. The expectation that success should make someone more generous with their time and energy is a common sentiment, though the reality of maintaining a career at Madonna's level might require different survival strategies. Not all Madonna encounters involve conflict or tension. Some of the most fascinating stories reveal her ability to connect with fellow artists on a deeply personal level, sharing wisdom and creating genuine moments of understanding.
She came in the room and she's wearing all black, like silk kind of like workout outfit and no makeup, and her hair just tied back in a ponytail, and her energy was really powerful. Like she's got a presence to her, obviously. And I was intimidated, and it was the first time I can remember in a long time being completely starstruck.
The description of Madonna in her most casual state, no makeup, hair in a ponytail, yet still radiating an undeniable presence, speaks to the kind of charisma that transcends artifice. True star power doesn't require costumes or staging. It emanates from within. The admission of being starstruck by someone in workout clothes reveals just how powerful Madonna's aura can be.
I looked at her and I went, I'm sorry, I'm kind of freaking out. She's like, why? And I'm like, 'cause you're Madonna. She smiled, and I said, I've been a fan since I can remember, and this is, pretty amazing for me. And she said, well, thanks. And
the beauty of this interaction lies in its authenticity. Instead of trying to play it cool, there's honesty about the emotional impact of meeting a hero. Madonna's simple why and subsequent smile suggests someone who appreciates genuine reactions over manufactured coolness. These moments of vulnerability can create deeper connections than any carefully orchestrated meeting.
And she said, so how you doing? We started talking about, the whole newfound fame game that I'm a part of now. And I said, how do you do it? You've been doing it so long and navigating it so well. How do you do it? And she said, you just got to put your blinders up and keep your eye on the prize and just move forward.
When Madonna offers advice, it's distilled from decades of experience at the highest levels of fame. The metaphor of blinders, typically used for horses to keep them focused and prevent distractions, perfectly captures how one must navigate celebrity. The simplicity of keep your eye on the prize and just move forward belies the complexity of actually implementing such advice in the face of constant scrutiny and pressure.
She said, well, what's your sign? And I'm a huge astrology buff, so I said, well, I'm an Aquarius. And she said, well, I'm a Leo. And I said, yeah, I know. And she, that's polar opposites. And she said, well, that's a good thing. She's like, but what's your moon sign? Because that's what really matters. I said, well, I'm an Aries moon. And she said, oh, you don't like being told what to do at all, do you?
Madonna's interest in astrology reveals a more mystical, introspective side that often gets overshadowed by her business acumen and controversial public persona. The fact that she knows enough about astrological compatibility to immediately recognize the potential challenges of working with certain personality types shows a depth of understanding about human nature that serves her well in collaborative situations.
I said, nah, really. She said, well, I'm kind of bossy in the studio, so I'd probably piss you off. I don't know if that would work. And I said, well, if you piss me off, we'll probably make really good art. She liked that.
This exchange perfectly captures the creative tension that often produces the best artistic collaborations. Madonna's self-awareness about her controlling nature in the studio, combined with the understanding that conflict can fuel creativity, shows a sophisticated approach to artistic partnerships. The fact that she appreciated the response about making good art suggests she values collaborators who can push back and challenge her. Some Madonna encounters happen in the most unexpected places, creating memories that last a lifetime and stories that become part of music folklore.
Madonna is real nice. She's a good person. She helped me a lot. She was real cool, like any one of my homeboys. One time, they had a story on the local news out there that Madonna was coming to visit me. Madonna has so much power that the guards let me take an extra shower because they thought she was coming to visit me.
The story of prison guards allowing an extra shower based solely on the possibility of a Madonna visit demonstrates her incredible influence and the respect she commanded even in the most unlikely settings. The casual way this is described, comparing her to any one of my homeboys, suggests a relationship built on genuine friendship rather than celebrity fascination.
I had guards walking me downstairs, everything, trying to peep a look.
And did she come?
No. No,
but you got the extra shower.
Hey, I got the shower, good looking. Do it again.
The humor in getting a shower out of the situation while Madonna never actually visited shows how her mere reputation could create benefits for those associated with her. The casual, good-looking, do it again attitude reveals someone who understood how to work the system and appreciated any small victories, even when they came from false rumors. Television appearances can create some of the most memorable Madonna moments, especially when they involve other major stars and unexpected physical interactions.
But very exciting, of course, because you got to make out with her.
You can't really call that making out with her. I mean, she kissed me.
You kissed her.
I didn't kiss her. You actually have the picture?
No, I've got it on my phone here.
The distinction between kissing someone and being kissed by them might seem semantic, but it reveals how these interactions are often more about Madonna taking control of the moment than mutual participation. The casualness of having the picture on a phone shows how these once shocking moments become normalized, even treasured by those who experience them. Award shows have become particularly fertile ground for Madonna's most memorable interactions, creating moments that become part of pop culture history.
It was weird. And you know why they cut away for it? Because of they cut away to get Justin's reaction.
Because she had kissed Britney and was Justin.
It was a Justin
with
reaction
Britney
shot
at the time, or
no, they were exes, but still, it was just like a cheap shot. It was like,
right. The behind-the-scenes manipulation of television coverage reveals how media narratives get constructed in real time. The decision to cut away from one kiss to capture an ex-boyfriend's reaction shows how personal relationships become public entertainment, often at the expense of the artists involved.
Totally realized that she made out with both of you.
Yeah. It was because I definitely saw like the newspaper the next day, and it was like, oh, well, I guess I got left out of that one.
Right.
The experience of being edited out of history, even when you were an active participant, illustrates how media coverage can reshape reality. Seeing yourself excluded from newspaper coverage of an event you were central to creates a unique form of erasure that must be both frustrating and surreal.
Did that bug you at all, or you were like...
I mean, everything happened so quickly back then, and everything was in a whirlwind. I think I was could have been on tour at the time or whatever, but I had my own performance that night. It was Fighter.
Right.
And it was with Dave Navarro. It was like, it was a kick performance.
The ability to find perspective and focus on personal achievements rather than dwelling on media slights shows remarkable maturity. When you have your own powerful performance to be proud of, being overlooked in someone else's moment becomes less significant. This attitude demonstrates how successful artists learn to navigate the complex landscape of shared spotlight moments. Some of the most interesting Madonna stories involve early career interactions, when future superstars were still finding their footing in the industry.
When I found out that she wore my t-shirt, I was like, how cool is that? It was so cool. It was just really weird. I think she saw me wear one of her shirts one time, and she, like a tribute to me, she wanted to do the same thing.
The simple act of wearing each other's merchandise becomes a form of mutual recognition and respect between artists. What might seem like a small gesture, Madonna wearing a Britney t-shirt carries enormous weight for a younger artist still establishing herself. The interpretation that it was done as a tribute shows how even small actions from established stars can be incredibly meaningful to their peers.
Madonna, she sat like 4 rows in front of me, and I was the person that was sitting by me. I was like, oh my God, that's Madonna. And I was like freaking out, but I didn't get a chance to meet her.
The experience of being in the same space as your idol but not getting to meet them is both thrilling and frustrating. The proximity, just 4 rows away, makes the missed connection even more tantalizing. These near-miss encounters often become more meaningful in memory than actual meetings might have been.
You know what? This is seriously something I've dreamt about since I was a little girl. I cannot believe this just like freaking happened. I've always had a sexy image.
When childhood dreams become reality, the emotional impact can be overwhelming. The progression from dreaming about something as a little girl to actually experiencing it represents the ultimate wish fulfillment that many artists hope for but few achieve. The mention of having always had a sexy image connects to Madonna's influence on how female artists present themselves. However, not every Madonna story is about admiration from afar or brief encounters. Some involve deeper, more complex emotions about artistic relationships and personal boundaries.
Well, the thing with like me and Madonna, for example, is that I admired her always, and I still admire her, no matter what she might think of me. No, I do.
Yeah.
The only thing that really bothers me about her is that I'm Italian and from New York, you know? So like, if I got a problem with somebody, I'm gonna tell you to your face.
Cultural background and personal communication styles can create friction even between artists who respect each other's work. The expectation of direct confrontation, rooted in Italian-American culture, clashes with more indirect forms of conflict resolution. This cultural clash reveals how personal backgrounds influence professional relationships, even at the highest levels of the music industry.
But no matter how much respect I have for her as a performer, I could never wrap my head around the fact that she wouldn't look me in the eye and tell me that I was reductive.
The desire for direct confrontation over indirect criticism speaks to different approaches to conflict resolution. When someone prefers face-to-face honesty over public or indirect criticism, being called reductive without the opportunity for direct dialogue can feel particularly frustrating. This situation illustrates how different communication styles can create lasting tension between even respectful colleagues. The thread that runs through every encounter is power. Madonna's awareness of her own influence and her strategic use of it. Whether she's offering career advice to Adam Lambert, spanking Ariana Grande on stage, or wearing Britney's t-shirt, each action seems calculated to maximum impact. Yet within calculation, there are moments of genuine human connection, flashes of the person behind the persona. For the artists who have experienced her orbit, Madonna represents both aspiration and cautionary tale. She shows what's possible when talent meets ambition meets relentless self-promotion, but also what it costs to maintain that level of relevance across decades. Her stories become their stories, part of the mythology that surrounds anyone who achieves true iconic status. The Wildest Madonna stories aren't wild because they're outrageous or scandalous, though some certainly are. They're wild because they capture the surreal reality of existing at the highest levels of fame, where normal rules don't apply, and every interaction carries the weight of legend. In her presence, other artists become smaller versions of themselves, starstruck children regardless of their own success. These encounters reveal the lonely reality of being Madonna, constantly approached by people who want something from you, whether it's collaboration, validation, or simply the bragging rights that come from sharing your space. The stories show someone who has learned to navigate these interactions with a mixture of grace and self-protection, generosity, and guardedness. Perhaps most remarkably, after 40 years in the spotlight, Madonna continues to generate these moments of connection and disconnection, continues to inspire both devotion and criticism, continues to matter enough that other artists' encounters with her become stories worth telling. In an industry notorious for its short attention span, her sustained relevance speaks to something deeper than marketing or manipulation. It speaks to genuine artistic power and the magnetic pull of authentic stardom. The wildest thing about Madonna's stories isn't any single anecdote, but the cumulative effect of decades of interactions that have shaped not just individual careers, but the entire landscape of popular music. Through these encounters, we see not just Madonna the icon, but Madonna the catalyst, the person whose very presence changes the trajectory of conversations, careers, and creative partnerships. Every artist who has shared space with her walks away with a story, and those stories become part of the larger narrative of what it means to be truly legendary in an age when fame is increasingly fragmented and fleeting. Madonna's wildest stories are wild because they remind us of what real stardom looks like: messy, complicated, powerful, and absolutely unforgettable.